No. Yes.
Yes. वो साइड का और हम कर सकते
रुको रुको
हैं। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। Fine. Okay. Everyone, be seated. Before starting this session, I just wanted to ask: is there anyone who is coming for the first time? Anyone coming for the first time? Wow. So we have old crowd with us. And before continuing with prayers, I just want to tell all of you that I want this session to be interactive. 6 days of your week are spending by following some others instructions. This one day, this 1 hour, you have got to express yourself. So I want it to be interactive. If I ask any questions, be a man and you can raise your hand and answer it confidently. First of all, I just wanted to ask each and every one of you that why are you here in this class? If everyone is going fine in our life, we have a job, we have a family, we have friends, so why we are here to know about something which we cannot see, which is soul? Can anyone answer about this? Why are we here? By raising their hands. Koi hai? Koi hai? Is there any man in this class? No one? Everyone is here for sambar rice? Yes, bro, please.
To listen about the Lord Krishna
Okay.
past times.
Okay.
And to clean the contaminated heart.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So this is one of the aspect, and the other one, I chose this topic because actually we all are here because to know what is the truth according to our Vedic scriptures, to know what is the truth, and that's why we have taken little time from our life to hear this, so that we will be able to follow it and lead a life according to it. So before continuing, I would like to give a small summary आज के क्लास में क्या होने वाला है. So I have divided this class into 4 sections. First will be understanding how modern material science have perceived the soul. Second part will be perfect knowledge about the soul, from where the perfect knowledge about the soul is coming and from where we can perceive it. The third part is why soul's knowledge is not provided in our modern society. And the last one is how we can overcome the ignorance of this society, which is not giving us the proper knowledge of soul. So before starting, I request everyone to fold their hands and start their prayers after me. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Pinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, thank you everyone for coming in this session. Is this audible enough कि आवाज बड़ा है? Audible? Okay. So first of all, we have to keep everything which we know about the soul aside, and right now we will see how the modern science have come to the point that there is something more than our physical body. It started with a story in 1630 of philosophy and mathematician of first order. He was standing in his balcony and he was just giving a thought, because he was a philosopher. It was a daily ritual for him to reflect on his thoughts. He was just thinking that the senses by which I am perceiving any material object, they are not absolute. Just like we see a pencil, when we drop a pencil in water, it gets slanted. When we see the railway tracks, but in reality they are not. But our eyes cannot see that thing. He came to the conclusion that even though I have these 5 senses by which I can perceive any material matter, but these are not absolute. I'm something greater than this. He was thinking a way more ahead, and he came to the conclusion that there may be everything false in this world, but one thing can be true, that is my thoughts. अभी आंख बंद करके मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ, just imagine a pink elephant standing beside you. You will quickly think, even though that is not exist in reality, but you gave a thought and you have control over it. This is the point which that philosopher thought, okay, so I have control over my thoughts, which are something more than the five senses I have. Therefore, he gave the conclusion that I am the thought. And from this point, 16th century, this revolution started of finding who am I in the modern material science. His name was Rene Descartes. I think, therefore I am. He gave this statement. And for now, so जो 16th century में तभी थे, they had this conception that I am the thought. Then ahead in 17th century, as the modern medical science was getting improved, new technologies were coming ahead, there was one machine which was called EEG. It is electroencephalogram, EEG, by which electrodes are attached to the brain and from which various waves which are running in human brain can be drawn through. Just like the gamma waves, beta, alpha, theta, delta. And the scientists at that time came to the conclusion that whatever a person is thinking, whatever a person is doing, whatever a person is feeling, willing and experiencing, all of them are crafted in the rays which are going through his brain. Therefore, I am this brain. So we came from 16th century to 17th century. Now what is the conclusion? From I am this thought to I am the brain. Because we can see the waves, whatever we are experiencing. उस time के लिए 17th century में this became the new trend that I am the brain. But various scientists argued that what about those people who are brain dead, just like the coma patients or the other patients who have surgery and their large part of brain is removed? What about them? They too act like a normal person. So even though a coma patient whose waves are plain single line dead, he is still alive. So this point was again refuted. We are not this brain. What next? So till now till 16, 17, and we come to, yeah, this was the article written by John Lorber and Roger Levin. That is your brain really necessary? Because without the brain electrodes, even though when they are dead, just like the coma patients, you are still alive. So hence proved, you are not this brain. You are something else than that. You are not this thought. You are not this brain. What else? After this, then we come to 19th century in 1991. There was a famous singer. Her name was Palm Reynolds. And she had a great disastrous car accident in which her chances of living were very low. Still, the doctors tried to save her, draining out all of her blood, then doing the brain surgery, and again draining in all of her blood. When she was alive again, not alive, I mean, hosh mein jab aayi hai fir se, then she gave every explanation what the doctors were speaking about, what the surgeons were talking and how they performed the surgery. All the surgeons were panicked. You were merely dead in front of us. How could you hear whatever we were saying? So she said, I was not dead. I was just lifted in the air and I could see my body. I could see all of us in this room. I could see the surgeons, the doctors who are performing surgery on my body. And I just felt this bliss. And this recording or this instance was a milestone in medical science because she stated something which was just out of mind. How is this possible? How can one come out of their body and see their body itself? I have the video in which we can See, this was the singer. Her name was Palm Reynolds.
When it came out of the body, there was no pain, no worry, no care. I looked down at my body, I knew it was my body. I didn't like looking at the body. That bothered me. It was a wonderful feeling to be free of it.
Was everyone able to hear what she said? मैं बताता हूँ. What she said is she don't know how she experienced it, but it was a wonderful experience that I'm out of this body. There is no stress, there is no anxiety, and it was a wonderful experience. But what material science generally points out is whatever we can see exists, because this was not experienced in a mass level. This remained to be just like a mystery. Then ahead, right now the material science have come to the conclusion whatever we may be, but we are not this physical body. That's it. First we thought we are the thoughts, then we came to the point of brain, and now the girl is coming out of this body. She is sharing her near death experience or past life experience. How is this possible? Now the conclusion is we are not this body according to the scientific evolution. इसके बाद then we have one more biological mystery. Is any science student here studying science? No one? Okay, we have commerce students, I think. So this part of eye is called cornea, and everything the eye captures is reflected, and it is seen in the eye as vertical, yeah, upside down. So the biologist, the medical practitioners were confused that if I can perceive each and every object as an upside down, who is that substance in the brain which again reflects it upside down so that we can see everything clearly? That was not cleared at that point of time. That's why the science named it as the ghost in the brain or psychic particle. For example, we have a data analyst in our room, Mr. Makarand Prabhu, and he is working for a big company, and he gathers all the data, he sorts it out, and that same data is given to the CEO. The CEO sorts the data and takes the decision upon it. So our eyes just work like that data analyst. We can see everything, but the thing which sorts it out and takes the decision is something else. So for now, medical science come to this conclusion that there is something else than matter after so many theories. Even after that, there was one scientist whose name was Ian Stevenson, IAN Stevenson. In his 90 years of rigorous career, he noted down more than 3,000 cases of past life memories. He visited many places in America, Africa, Asia, in which the children were able to recollect whatever it used to happen in their previous life. There was one story in which he was saying in his speech that I went to Thailand, and a boy who was able to recollect the past life, he was telling, I belong to this specific village. These are my mother and father. And do you have any sign of your past village? Oh, he was like, yes. When our house was being constructed, at that time, I wrote my name on the cement. So this scientist himself gone with that small kid, and that small kid show his name on the cement. His parents of previous lives were like they were astonished. How come our kid who was dead few years ago, now this is another person who is claiming that I am your child and I know everything, I know your names. Same cases like this who there were more than 3,000 he recorded, but they were not brought into the mainstream media because no scientist had answer for this. And right now, till now, we completed the first part of our session, which was understanding how modern material science perceived the soul. Right now, we have not come to the conclusion. Modern science conclusion पे आया ही नहीं है कि आत्मा है. Till now, the conclusion is there is something other than this material body. But what is that? We don't know. This same thing, now we are moving on to part 2. This same thing is given in the Vedic scriptures. The conclusion of Vedic scripture, which is also known as Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Here are some verses from, okay, before that, I would like to show you a video in which a kid was explaining his past life experience in which he was a fighter, what a fighter, kya bol raha hu? He was pilot of a fighter jet. Just look it out. Here is a video that recently came out, where a child who never saw an airplane remembers from his past life.
Also, somebody has a red air turbine.
A red air turbine,
Yeah.
and what is that?
It's just emergency systems that are at the end of the fail.
Okay.
Then the red air turbine can help to bring back the system.
Bring back the system to control the aircraft.
Yeah. But due to the low engine power, the landing gear will not come up.
Okay.
After that, you have to do something else to lower the blast.
Oh, you have to do something else to lower the flaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to lower them by gravity alone.
Okay.
You have to drop the gear by gravity alone.
Uh-huh.
And if you have no hydraulics and the airplane is making right, you reduce the engine. You reduce engine 1 and increase engine 2.
Okay.
Then the plane will go level again.
Oh, wow. So the asymmetrical power, yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
1 year, 11 months.
Get out of here.
Really?
No way. Let's see. Let's see.
So smart. My God.
Let's see.
What are you gonna do? Actually, with the pilot, that would be a captain.
Yes. Yes. Better than me. Better than me, yeah? I can't wait to fly with you. Will you remember me? You will? Okay. Summer. Summer. Will you remember that? Okay. I need to meet your parents. All right. Shall we go? Oh, wow. You can let them know, right? Yeah, but now we don't need a flight engineer. We have the ECAS, which you probably know about. Okay. Oh, wow. What's that system called? ECAS.
Yeah, this was the video all about, in which this small kid was able to recollect everything from his past life. And the pilots and the flight attendants were shocked. How can this small kid of 5 years can know everything about this flight? And there are more than 3,000 cases like this. He was noting it down, and he made a report on them in 2003. And after 2003, there were many scientists who did this experiment after him. So, as I said, we have come to the conclusion of the first part, in which we have saw that how modern science have come to the conclusion that we are not this physical body, we are something other than that. Now this same explanation about the ghost in the brain or the psychic particle, which is stated by the modern scientists, is to be seen in the Vedic text. Just like I would like to show some text from Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text number 16. You can see, those who are seers of truth have concluded that the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. It is clearly stated that the eternal, the soul, there is no change. The soul is permanent. In the next verse, it is stated that that which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Another quality of soul is given in the scriptures, that it cannot be destroyed. It pervades the entire body. No one is able to destroy. It is imperishable. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Here we can see that it is already stated that the material body we have, which is composed of 5 elements, which will be surely come to an end. But the living soul is eternal, it is immeasurable. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain is in knowledge. For the self slain not nor is for the self slays not nor is slain. In summary, I would like to tell this verse that one who thinks that this body, this soul, he cannot kill anyone, nor he will get killed by anyone. He is in perfect knowledge, because it is not something material, it is spiritual. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, renewable. He is not slain when the body is slain. This answers the reports given by scientist Ivan Stevenson, the reincarnation theory, which is already stated in the Vedic scriptures in the text 20. There is neither birth nor death. He is not slain when the body is slain. So even though this body made up of 5 elements, when it is destroyed, the eternal particle, the soul, it is not, it is which is immeasurable, it is not changed, because it cannot be destructed. O Partha, how can a person who knows the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? As a person puts on new garment, give up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless one. The last text is very important for us to understand. It is one example is given, in which it is said, as a person puts on new garments, जैसे हम नए कपड़े पहनते हैं and जो पुराने हो गए फेंक देते हैं, just like that, a new body is accepted by a soul, a living entity, again and again. When the body gets old, when it is useless, it goes again with the 5 material elements, and a new body is granted. This cycle keeps on running. I pointed both the theories given by modern material scientists and the Vedic scriptures, just to differentiate that the Vedic scriptures are proactive, and on the other hand, the modern scientists are reactive. For example, because you eat dahi in evening, you had a bad stomach on the next day. Then you approach a doctor and he will give you some pills to cure your disease. But on the other hand, the scriptures, which are proactive, they will state that you should not have dahi in evening. So you understand the difference? So the scriptures clearly give instructions what to do and what not to do, what to follow, what not to follow. And along with this, we have completed the second part, the perfect knowledge of soul, the proactive, relation of proactive and reactive knowledge. Now we will come to the third part of this session, in which, as the topic was mentioned, is science afraid of soul. Let me clear one thing with you. We are not against the science. What we are against it, because everything we are using it, this is a product of science and technology. I'm speaking with this mic, with sharing screen, the projector, the laptop, everything is the product of modern material technology. We appreciate it. But what we are against it is the people who are setting false narratives, who are not bringing the truth out, which is the narrative. It is said that we are not the soul. We are this temporary body. We have one life. Just be merry and enjoy. And this false narrative is said And now we will speak on the third section, why soul's knowledge is not provided. Because, oh yes, this text can be seen in Bhagavad Gita. We have Bhagavad Gita if anyone doesn't have. Or if anyone of you thinks that Bhagavad Gita, oh my God, 900 pages ki book kaun padega? We have another book which is Science of Self-Realization, which is a summary of Bhagavad Gita. If you still think 300 pages ki book kaun padega, we still have a summary of this which is coming back. This is, I think, 70 to 80 pages we have outside our stall. So after this class, if anyone is interested, they can take this book with themselves. So this narrative of one life is set in this modern world so that we can become product of this industrialization, and we will be tagged as consumers, a constant consumer. Therefore, a line has been repeated, if you consume, if I consume, I exist. That's why this statement has fixed in our mind. Okay, I have some savings left in account. Should I buy something? It is not necessary, but I have money. The constant craving of consumerism runs in our mind because of this narrative. And because of that, we have this is the reason why the knowledge of soul is not spread in the modern world. Because you will see in the first picture that people, the women are blind before it. If you approach a woman and tell her that this beauty or this body is temporary, after a few years, 10 or 15 years, your beauty will be fade away. If she realizes, stop consuming the cosmetics, and the $1 million industry will be down. So the industrialists don't want this, don't want that the people should know what is the truth. Therefore, you remain in the shadow and accept what we are selling. You should be beautiful. You should be eternally beautiful. And how you will be beautiful? By using our mascara and lipstick. Is this the truth? But not. The second thing, see, we can see a woman. She is in anxiety of how much more products I should buy, or how much more there is, how much more things are there in market that I should use. And the third one we can see, in which there is a person who is amazed or confused by looking over the ads. And after seeing one ad, he is getting one desire. अभी लोडा का ad देखा, मुझे भी ऐसा घर चाहिए. अभी एप्पल का ad देखा, I need new MacBook. अभी इसका ad देखा, I need something. So you are constantly bombarded with this narrative of consumerism. That's why this truth that this life is temporary is hidden from us. This was the third part, and I think we should go to the fourth part. I will summarize till now. What we saw is, in the first part, it was understanding the modern material science, how it perceived the soul, and we come to the conclusion that we are not this physical body, we are something else. Then we saw the second part, that what soul is exactly mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. Each and every detail about the soul, how we can perceive it, how we can understand it, its features. Then we saw that why soul's knowledge is not provided. And we came to this slide wherein people are getting addicted, or not addicted, but शिकार क्या कहते हैं, शिकार को क्या कहेंगे in English? नहीं being victim of this narrative. So for us individuals, is there any we must think that ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा क्या, that we will be stay free from this, or a world which is free from this false narrative which is in truth? So if anyone wonders like this, the answer is no, it will not happen. We all are living in the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the Kali Yuga, in which the main theme of Kali Yuga is जो cheaters है उनका प्रभाव बढ़ेगा, and we have to go through this. But on the individual level, we can overcome this thing. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kalau dosha nidhe rajan astir eka mahan guna yourself. So what can be done? Astir eka mahan guna. But there is one good quality of this age of Kali. Kirtana deva krishnasya muktas. You will be delivered from this negativity or this false negatives by, yes, by Krishna Sangha, by chanting the holy name, by remembering the Lord, by remembering the Lord in the sense that by using the mediums like chanting, kirtan, remembrance of Krishna, and hence we will be delivered from this societal false societal norms, and we get that perfect knowledge in which by acting according to the perfect knowledge we lead a perfect life. Or else what happens, a person who has lived his life according to the societal norms or the false narratives, he lives his life, but at the end moment on his deathbed, he thinks that I'm still not happy or I still didn't accomplish what I have to do, and he didn't, and he dies a sorrowful death, which we don't have to go through it because we have this ray of knowledge still with us. We have this opportunity of gaining this knowledge, this truth of our life. Are we this temporary body or are we the eternal soul? And for that, we have to do some austerity, तपस्या. ऐसे नहीं होगा कि सामने से कोई फरिश्ता आके आपका उद्धार करे. We have to take some step to improve our life. We have to take some step. We can see now, if anyone, not everyone, not anyone, or everyone here is using Instagram, right? The rise of reels in which they show disciplined life, they are numerous. बहुत सारे ऐसे reels आए हैं in which they show disciplined life, and we get motivated by seeing them. Wow, what a life! He is waking up at 3, then he is exercising, then he is studying, he is earning money. But are we able to do it? We just desire, मैं भी एक दिन करूँगा, because that is unpleasant. Just like that, this truth is unpleasant to hear. Someone is saying, "Oh, you have a temporary life. आज जिंदा हो कल नहीं." It is so sorrowful to hear this. Right now, I have passed my exam. I have come to this. I've been a director. I'm earning so much money now, and you are saying that tomorrow I will be dying. So this truth, it is very hard to accept, and it is very hard to walk on this path of truthfulness. Therefore, if we really want that we will be being the victim of this age of Kali, then we should take this small span of time, the small life seriously in engaging ourselves in that activities which take us towards the absolute truth, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And that was the summum bonum of this class. In these 4 sections, if anyone has any doubt, they can raise their hands and ask. किसी को भी कोई डाउट नहीं? समझा कि नहीं? Okay. Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
You talked about conscious interpretation jiva or any entity has their spirit, but there in nature there are some many material elements also there who reacts or any activity without any conscious certain situation or certain environment they get.
Right.
For many elements like mercury is the most common element.
Okay.
It's starting beating on certain people.
Okay.
So how you can compare this soul? That's why he's having more activity, and this is not having soul.
Okay, to summarize this, your question was Mercury doesn't have a soul, still it is reacting. On the other hand, human, which there are many elements like that. So the inherent quality of that element is to react. So it has, when we study science, it has molecules. It has molecules and atoms.
Every body is made up of molecules.
Right. And that molecule itself represents a living spark, which we know call as soul. So when we used to study science, we used to say कि देखो मैंने यहाँ पे उंगली लगाया, तो there are thousands and millions of microorganisms on my hand. So all these thousands and millions of microorganisms are the living entities, the soul. अब point समझा कि नहीं?
I got you. My question is that where this soul come in picture? Because this mercury also reacting, those elements, that elements also reacting. But and this any body gets any organic body also reacting. So where how we can compare if this body has soul, this body has.
I mean, every element has its inert qualities because of which they react, and we can differentiate that they don't act on their own independence. Just like a machine, an example is given by Srila Prabhupada that you may create a big machine, but you need a living entity, a person to operate it. The same example is given here. When you say mixing two elements, the third output is coming, but who is that person who is mixing them? There is a person behind it. There is a living entity behind it.
Operated by someone. So let's apply on both, right?
Right,
And
right.
non-living both.
Yes.
So my question is how you decide if it's operated by someone? Because my question particularly about soul.
Hmm.
So because this body have past memories and they collect from very collected from
Hmm.
past life.
Right.
So there are, if you see your hard drives and all these things, they are dead materials only.
Right.
Like they are made up of chips, are made up of this sand, only silicon.
Right.
So they also store memory.
So what's the question?
So that's what I'm asking, where the soul comes in. Because the dead things also store the memories. Living also is saying store the memories.
Storing memory is not the function of a soul. That's not the only function of the soul. In we can see the difference between living and non-living. Which when we say something responds, when we say something is living, that means it's responding. And whatever material elements we create, when we say we create, what is we? So there is definitely one person behind it. Whatever you say, one may see a machine going automatically, just like we कि अरे मैं क्वेश्चन डाल रहा हूँ तो built by a living entity behind that. Is it clear or not? नहीं ठीक है, क्लास के बाद बात करेंगे. What was your question, Anand bro?
So, you explained from the beginning that how people are identifying I am beyond from something else, like I am beyond
Right,
this
right.
world. So, from 16th century till present day, you have explained the entire scenario, like
Right.
how people started speculating their thoughts. So, if one started agreeing, okay, this philosophy is correct, but how they will apply it? Because if they accept, but the application part is way longer.
Right. That is the fallacy of modern material science, that it keeps changing.
Yes.
When Galileo said that the earth is sphere, he was beaten. Oh, how come it's sphere? It's a rectangle, it is flat. But then it got proved. Same like that is modern material science keep on changing. When Rene Descartes said that I am the thought, everyone started thinking, okay, this is the final proof. But again in 17th century, it was changed. Again in 19th century, it was changed. That's why I gave one differentiation, that how Vedas, who are proactive, and on the other hand, the material science, which is reactive, which is not absolute. So which is not absolute. You cannot